How should we approach the Second Amendment? This is an important question because I find that when people have discussions about gun rights, they tend to get sucked into this debate about public safety. Even a lot of good Second Amendment advocates will spend a lot of time and energy trying to convince people that guns actually make us safer. And I tend to agree with them. They have a lot of data and information to support their position. However, whenever I'm in one of these discussions, I never start with a debate about public safety. And that's because when it comes to the issue of fundamental rights, concerns about crime and public safety are at best secondary considerations. Fundamental rights, we have those rights regardless of their impact on crime. And I'm thinking now, by way of example, of the rights that we have in our criminal justice system. The Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the right to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures, the right to be free from cruel and unusual punishment, the right that criminal defendants have to not incriminate themselves, the fact that the government has to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt before they put someone in jail or execute someone in those states that still impose the death penalty. If you think about it, all of these rights, to some degree, represent a compromise with public safety. They don't necessarily serve the ends of law enforcement or crime reduction. And yet no sensible person would argue that we should do away with these rights or even try to undermine them in some way. And yet people, unfortunately, don't take the same approach to the Second Amendment. Every time there's a horrific shooting or a report about an increase in gun violence, there are those who are clamoring to impose more gun control, to undermine the Second Amendment. This is unfortunate. There are a lot of reasons for this. There are a lot of people in this country who don't understand the philosophy, the history, or the important purposes that the Second Amendment serves. I recently did a video where I asked the question, do weapons of war belong in the hands of ordinary citizens? And I argued that yes, they do, if you understand the philosophy and arguments of the Founding Fathers, if you understand their experiences with gun confiscation. But people don't have the appreciation for the Second Amendment that they should. They don't treat it like they treat other fundamental rights. And that's how we go down this road where we don't really have a good discussion or debate about the Second Amendment. The debate about public safety, it's important. It's not one that I shy away from. There's a lot of information, good information and data that should be shared on this issue. But whenever I'm in a discussion about the Second Amendment, I always start with the fact that it's a fundamental right. We shouldn't be careless or casual about advocating for gun control. I would argue we've gone way too far down the road of gun control as it is. The Second Amendment, it's an important fundamental right. We should approach it that way. A government that doesn't trust its people with the right to bear arms is a government that doesn't deserve its people's trust.